Good evening and welcome to Arizona Illustrated for Monday, the 17th of December, 2012. I'm Tony Paniagua. The tragic shooting in a Connecticut elementary school is being felt across the nation, including here in Tucson, where such trauma is still painfully fresh for many residents nearly 2 years after our own shooting rampage. Tucson police say they are stepping up their visibility around schools throughout the city as a way of giving children, parents, and teachers a heightened sense of security. And in the metro area's largest school system, Tucson Unified, officials say they have alerted schools to the potential for special counseling needs and reminded of school safety plans that are in place and for which training is conducted routinely. For Tucsonans, the Newtown shooting rampage was a tragically familiar scenario, harkening back to the January 8, 2011 shooting in which 6 people were killed and 13 wounded, including then Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords and her successor, Ron Barber. Joining us in the studio now is Jennifer Fout, a crisis clinician from the Southern Arizona Mental Health Corporation. Jennifer, thanks for being here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So after the shooting in January of 2011 here in Tucson, you became active in the community. What was your role and what did you do?
Well, I'm one of the trained debriefers that works at SAMHAC. And what we did was go out into the community and worked with the several community organizations, including Pima Community College and local churches, some of the school districts, and provided presentations on trauma, as well as small group debriefing processes, which is a processing group that helps people move forward from the trauma.
And of course, you have to deal, people in your profession, with children and adults. Are these approached differently? And if so, how?
Definitely approached differently. When you're dealing with children, of course, you work with the parents as well. And it's a different way of approaching them because their level of understanding surrounding death and trauma is far different than many of the adults that we deal with. So we try to do separate groups and separate presentations depending on the age group.
And we hear a lot about how the American society, for lack of a better terminology, is, quote, getting used to, or at least they've been hearing a lot more about these different types of incidents across the country. Do you think people are dealing with this differently this time around than last time, or are they just getting more used to this tragic news?
Well, it's difficult because it's such a tragedy, and especially this time where it's children, and of course we've had tragedies with children in the past. I hope that parents and families are getting smarter with talking with their kids about these tragedies and helping them deal with it, because it's a part of our society at this point, which is very sad to say, and having to deal with it in a school system where children feel safe definitely triggers a lot of fears.
And what are some of those fears that kids think? I mean, obviously, I would imagine they don't want to go to school the next day,
Right.
or something like that. And then how do you deal with those issues?
Well, it brings up a lot of questions, because I'm sure many children who have heard about this tragedy are asking their teachers, well, what happens? What are you going to do? And what are we going to do? How are we going to stay safe? And that's something where the parents really need to work with the teachers at the schools that they're at, and also the counselors, to help have as many safety plans in place ahead of time, which many schools do already. But there's really nothing to prepare you for this type of tragedy.
Yeah, because despite the fact that there can be a lot of security, people can break a window, get in the back way, or do something like that.
Right, we don't want our schools locked down to keep everybody out, because that in turn keeps the children in as well. So it's really a checks and balances with trying to make a safe environment for the kids.
Okay, and then what about parents? Any special message for parents, as you were saying, in communicating with your children after an event like this, whether it be Connecticut or somewhere else across the country?
Right, and a lot of times it depends on the age of the child and what their understanding is. And a lot of that will come also from how the family raises them spiritually, in what religion and what they believe in, of how they're going to deal with their children to help them move forward from this and not live in fear all the time.
And what about here at the Southern Arizona Mental Health Corporation? Are you getting more calls or more people dropping in? Is it expected to pick up somehow?
Well, we're never really sure on that. At this point, we haven't had an increase of specifically about what happened in Connecticut. We may. It's only been a few days at this point. A lot of times what happens is people have a trauma in their own life, and this may add to it. And make them feel their own personal trauma more because of all the emotions that go into what's happened in our country.
The second anniversary of the shooting in Tucson is coming up here in a couple of weeks, or pretty soon in January, on January 8th. Do you think this will sort of reinforce the tragedy, the one in Connecticut, because it's so close to the one to the anniversary that's coming up here?
Yes, oftentimes that happens where you have almost a layering of trauma that happens, and it can make the person re-experience some of the emotions and some of the difficult feelings and maybe depressive stuff, depressive episodes that go on. And that's when they'll seek help from counselors, wherever they are at, and also help from family and friends as well. It does bring up, one trauma will definitely bring up another.
And even in people across the country, you've seen people cry. Everybody has been very distraught by what's happened this time around in Connecticut. Do you feel that Americans are reaching a point where they're like, we do have to do something, as the president has said? And if so, what is that something?
Right, and we have such a large country and so
Yes.
many differing opinions that it's hard to say what's right or what's wrong. At this point, I think the focus should be on working with the kids, working with parents on how to talk to their children when something like this happens, to really help them, and not letting the kids sit there and watch constant coverage of this, because that in itself can be traumatizing and increase their fear as well.
All right. Well, Jennifer Fout, a crisis clinician at the Southern Arizona Mental Health Corporation, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
The holiday season is usually a time for celebration, but experts say it can also be dangerous from unexpected sources, common household items or decorations. For this and more, we are joined by Dr. Keith Boesen. He is the managing director of the Arizona Poison and Drug Information Center at the University of Arizona's College of Pharmacy. With him is Liz Barta, a poison education specialist at the facility. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
Let's begin with you, Keith. If you could tell us a little about the Poison Control Center here in Tucson. It's one of two in the state?
Correct. There's two poison centers in Arizona that split up the territory. We do all of Arizona except for Maricopa County. The other poison center is located in the Phoenix area to serve that population. So in Arizona, every resident of Arizona is covered by a poison center of the 6 million people that live here.
And I would imagine that you stay pretty busy throughout the year, taking lots of different calls. We were speaking ahead of this interview about how rattlesnakes and scorpions get a lot of attention, but you're not dealing with them as much as other common household items.
Yeah, this time of year, definitely not. The rattlesnake and scorpions, the bite and sting actually has a season, typically April to October. So come the cooler winter months, we actually don't see as many of those calls come in, but the calls that we do, day in and day out, time and time again, usually have to do with medications, ingestions of various household-containing products. In this particular time of season, it's the types of things that we would have out, say, in November, December area, so around the holidays.
All right, and for that, we'll go to you, Liz. You are a poison education specialist. Who do you talk to out there in the community?
Anybody and everybody. I talk with kids minimally, because really who I want to talk to are the parents or caregivers of the children, so that they do all the precautions and teaching at home that needs to happen. And also, of course, to seniors, because they are at high risk for poisoning for a lot of different reasons. One of which is medications, which is the leading cause of poisoning in the United States right now.
And these are medications that people have in their medicine cabinet. It's not like somebody got into the garbage or stole something, right?
Prescription meds, over-the-counter medications. People don't read the labels. They don't understand that they can't mix certain medications. They take more than they're supposed to. And so it's a leading cause of death in the United States. It outranks, right now, road traffic accident deaths.
And we were speaking ahead of this interview. Is it that somebody doesn't follow the instructions or takes too much, or somebody else gets into that medicine? What typically happens?
All of the above. But when I'm giving you the statistics, I'm talking about unintentional. So there are people that will try to kill themselves with medications and things like that. But yes, and maybe sometimes teenagers will go into the medicine cabinet and take medications that they think might be able to be a lot of fun, and then they find out, unfortunately, that either they get really sick or they can die unintentionally.
All right, and Keith, we have some props here to show to our viewers. What would you like to say about these two items that are very dangerous here?
Well, these are typically very common items, whether they're found in toys, given as gifts. These particular types, and this is more of an example of the types of small magnets that can be found inside toys that when they come loose, these are very attractive and children will ingest these. And the concern with these is that if these magnets are powerful enough to separate inside the body and then come back together, they'll actually pinch the tissue off inside of the intestines and somewhere and cause basically a tissue death and pretty significant complications as a result of that. So ingestions of these result in hospital admissions and sometimes surgery to remove them. These particular items next to them, there are these lithium batteries, these small disc or button batteries that are used a lot of times this time of year. We're seeing a lot more of these where they're small enough. The toys are getting really small these days, which is fantastic, but they need some sort of power source, and so the power sources are getting smaller and smaller. So what will happen from these again are very simple to ingest and put in kids' mouths, and when they swallow them, they can get stuck in certain areas of the body, and what will happen with these is when they're in contact with the tissue, they'll actually start to burn a hole right through the tissue. So if that was in your esophagus or your stomach, given enough time, it'll burn right through.
All right. And then, of course, Liz, you got one very common item during the holidays, and you wanted to talk about the one next to it as well. What do you want to say about these?
Well, the poinsettia, this is a big question. So maybe I'll ask you, Tony, is the poinsettia poisonous or isn't it?
I have heard that it is.
And it's not.
Okay, there you go.
And in fact, it was in the national newspaper yesterday about poinsettias not being poisonous. They can be an irritant to your mouth or to lining in your esophagus or throat, I should say, but you'd have to eat a lot of them to really poison yourself. But holly and mistletoe berries, yes, definitely they are poisonous or toxic, and also choking hazards, which of course eating leaves from the poinsettia can be a choking hazard, definitely. So that's a little bit of trivia. People can use at all their Christmas parties, a little quiz about the poinsettia.
But you don't want to put it in your salad.
You don't want to put it in your salad. You can put it next to your salad.
Right.
Okay. Not too much. You don't want to eat too much of it, that's for sure.
Right.
And then right here we have what's called like a liquid candle. You can, I don't know if you can see it with the TV, but there's a wick in there. This has a cap on it, but you take the cap off and then you can light it. It becomes a candle. But if you look at it, it looks a lot like a baby bottle nipple. And we've had throughout the country kids getting into this and getting very sick. And anytime you put any kind of lamp oil out, it can have a lot of wonderful fragrances that makes it attractive to eat and drink. If the kid or whoever would drink this and it gets into their lungs, it can be fatal. It's very, very dangerous. Do you want to add a little bit more about the toxicity of that?
No, it's a respiratory problem. Gets into the lungs. Children develop significant, debilitating, harmful pneumonias, and it can be fatal.
All right, and let's just briefly talk, Liz, about you are trying to work with the county on a program called Dispose a Med.
Right.
And then you're also going to be participating in the Festival of Books. If you could just tell us in a quick synopsis about both of these things.
Well, we were talking earlier about medications being such a danger. So we get a lot of calls at the Poison Center, and across the country it's typical. People want to know what to do with their old or expired medications or things they're just not taking anymore. And there's not really a safe way to dispose of them. There are some techniques that you can look at our website, which I think will be there, and then, or else you can call the Poison Center. We'll tell you places you can dispose it.
Okay, and you said you'll be at the Festival of Books as well, providing some information early next year?
Yep.
Okay.
We love doing that.
Well, Keith Boesen and Liz Bard, thank you very much for joining us, and good luck during your holidays.
Thank you.
Thank you.
While many people are hoping to get special gifts for Christmas and other celebrations, other people are in need of other items that are much more basic and essential, and the Diaper Bank of Southern Arizona is helping out. It was the nation's first such facility when it was established in the 1990s, and it has been expanding ever since. Caitlin Harrington has an interview.
In studio with me now is Leslie Shelley and Rachel Peterson. They're both here on behalf of the Diaper Bank of Southern Arizona. Thank you both for joining me today.
Thank you, Caitlin.
Thanks for having us.
Rachel, I'll start with you. If you can tell us a little bit of the history of the Diaper Bank, how long it's been around, and what makes it unique.
Sure. Well, the Diaper Bank of Southern Arizona was founded in 1994, and we're proud to be the nation's first diaper bank. So we provide diapers for children and adults through community agencies such as Red Cross, Pima Council on Aging, and we get diapers for children and adults. So in addition to being the nation's first, there are now about 150 diaper bank programs across the country today. So we're really proud of kind of the model that's been set up.
Leslie, one of the main reasons we have you both here today is to talk about the holiday diaper drive. This is the biggest month for you for a diaper drive. Can you tell us a little bit about it and what your kind of goal is behind it?
Sure. This is a wonderful thing. We partner with Mix FM, 94.9 Mix FM, and they're incredible partners. They've been doing this with us for a long time. I think probably 16 or 17 years at least. And they kick off with a great radio play. It was just held at the Fox Theater a couple of weeks ago. And we have a lot of different locations around town where you can drop off diapers. You can drop them off at our office. They're all listed on our website, which is www.diaperbank.org, and also on Mix FM's website too. So at Shaver Dry Cleanings, Two Men in a Truck, Sleep America, UPS stores, all over town. And we're collecting diapers for everyone, all sizes. So it's a huge thing for us, and it's a really great way to help the diaper bank and help people in our community who need help.
Leslie, can you tell us a little bit about how this actually works? It goes from being donations of diapers and money also, but then how you distribute it out as well.
Sure, thank you. Yes, Caitlin, it's diapers and money. And actually, if you make a donation of money, we are an organization where you can get a tax credit for the working poor. So if you go to the Arizona Department of Revenue site, you can check out and see that we are listed there. So if you're a couple, you can get a tax credit of up to $400. And if you're a single, you can get a tax credit of up to $200. So you can make a cash donation. What's really great about that is we can buy at least up to 3 times as many diapers as an individual can because of the people with whom we work to buy diapers. So you can either make a donation online on our website at www.diaperbank.org, or you can send in a donation to the Diaper Bank. And our address is 4500 East Speedway, Suite 75. And that's Tucson 85712. So we work with more than 51 partner agencies here in town, and Rachel mentioned a few of them. But we work with partner agencies because we think it's a better way for people to get other services. People who need diapers are going to need other services. They don't just need diapers, and we don't want to say, here, have some diapers. We want them to get other services. They need comprehensive services, counseling, information about jobs, housing, all kinds of different things. And so partner agencies are better equipped to give them that information.
And then it also keeps our overhead costs low so that we can distribute more diapers with a smaller organization.
Rachel, for those people who may not have children or don't have a personal need for diapers, can you tell us what someone might spend in an average month or a year on diapers?
Sure. Well, as a mother myself, I can say that diapers cost about $100 a month. And the thing that a lot of people don't realize is government assistance programs like WIC and food stamps. You can buy infant formula, but you can't buy diapers with those services. So people are kind of left on their own for this really basic monthly need.
And you said that December is your biggest month for a diaper drive, but you're also doing this throughout the entire year. So talk about some of the challenges that the Diaper Bank faces during certain times of the year.
Sure. We distribute about 600,000 diapers a year, though we receive requests for 1.5 million, so the need is always great. And we love for schools, community organizations, businesses to do diaper drives. But because of that, in the summer especially, when schools are out of session, it's the summer break, a lot of people are out of town. Summer is particularly dry for us. So we actually really rely on this December diaper drive to kind of sustain us throughout the year. So it's really important.
And Leslie, you do have a figure for how many families you provided diapers to. Can you tell our audience about that?
It's amazing the number of people we help. Last fiscal year, we helped 14,500 people, and that's a very accurate number, and we got those numbers from our partner agencies. So we help a whole lot of people. And I think what people need to understand is we don't just help children, infants, and toddlers. We help disabled people, adults, and seniors too. So I think people don't realize that we help a whole spectrum of ages. We help people across the board.
Leslie, for our audience to go and donate and find out the different locations, can you please tell us your website information?
Thank you so much. Yes, it's www.diaperbank.org.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you
for
so
having
much,
us.
Caitlin. Happy holidays.
The state of Arizona is working on building a special World War II memorial just east of the Capitol in Phoenix at Wesley Bowen Memorial Plaza. Tonight we'll tell you about that effort, and we will follow it up tomorrow, Wednesday and Thursday with interviews with World War II veterans. Here is Michael Chihak with the first of the 4 stories.
Tell us what we're looking at here, the guns for the USS Missouri and the USS Arizona.
Well, what you have behind us are the 2 completely unrestored barrels from the USS Arizona, and behind me is the USS Missouri. The Secretary of State's office is a proponent of the World War II monument in Wesley Bowen Plaza, and these 2 military artifacts are going to serve as bookends to the war. The USS Arizona being the start of the war on December 7, 1941, and the Missouri barrel behind me would be the culmination, because that barrel was actually at the signing ceremony in Tokyo Bay on September 2nd, 1945.
The Japanese surrender.
The Japanese surrender.
On the deck of the Missouri.
Deck of the Missouri.
And we're in an industrial area on the west side of Phoenix where these guns are being stored until they're restored and moved to the memorial. And groundbreaking for that is occurring this week, right?
Correct. We're doing a groundbreaking on Friday at the tail end of the Pearl Harbor commemoration ceremonies. It'll take us through next year of actually with construction plans and implementation, and we're going to do the dedication of the monument next December 7th, 2013.
On the Mall of the Capitol.
On the Mall of the Capitol, yes.
Wesley Bowen Plaza.
If you're familiar with the area, we already have the anchor from the USS Arizona and the signal mast. These 2 barrels will be almost like they would be oriented on the battleship itself. They'll be between the signal mast and the anchor. They will be spaced about 400 inches apart, 400 to 417 inches apart, and there'll be a limestone path or marker between the 2 barrels of 417 inches, and each inch will signify 1,000 military lives that were lost between December 7th, 1941 and September 2nd, 1945.
For the United States.
For the United States, yes.
And Arizonans killed in World War II?
That's the second half of the monument, and there are going to be ribs that look like a ship, and on those ribs there are going to be names that look very much like dog tags right now we have 2,042 individuals from Arizona who perished in the war. That number may move up or down a little bit, but right now we've accounted for 2,042 individuals.
Now, you were telling me before we came on camera that the barrel from the Arizona was not actually on the Arizona when Pearl Harbor was bombed on December 7th, 41. Is that correct?
That is correct, and that's one of the main reasons we were actually able to acquire it is that it was saved. These barrels are rifled on the inside, and that rifling would wear out. So periodically they would take these barrels off the ships and they would reline them. This particular barrel was off the Arizona at that time of the Pearl Harbor attack. It was being relined, and that's why it was saved. Since it didn't go down with the boat, they actually wound up putting it on the USS Nevada, and that particular barrel was at Utah Beach on the D-Day invasion. So it has a rich military history.
June of 44.
June of 44.
Which was the beginning of the end of the war in Europe.
It was indeed.
Tell us a little bit about the memorial and how it's being paid for.
There was legislation enacted. We sought legislation last year. Legislation enacted by the legislature that has the Secretary of State's office as the main proponent, and we're authorized to seek donations, gifts, and things to pay for this. It's the intent of the legislation that it not be done with any public funding or general fund monies. And to that end, we have been the recipient of just phenomenal donative works. Burlington Northern Santa Fe, they pulled out these barrels all the way from the middle of the country on for free. We have steel that has been donated. We have design work that has been donated. We have a project manager, the same company, SDB, who built the Veterans Home in Tucson. They knew about this and they decided that they wanted to get on board, so I have a project manager. And then finally, the Arizona Department of Veterans Services has just been wonderful with actually helping us write some checks from one of their donations funds to make this happen.
We'll show a list of the donors, especially the companies that donated in kind for this. We'll link to the website for that.
Okay, thank you. That would be great. There's still work that needs to be done, so if people do want to donate time or money, we will happily accept.
And tomorrow night, Michael Chihak will bring us an interview with a World War II veteran who was stationed at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941, while serving in the U.S. Army. In tonight's video postcard from photographer and editor Santiago Batti, we take you to the annual Luminaria Festival at Tucson's Presidio Museum.
It comes in a packet of dried, really? Yeah. And you didn't add spices to it? No.
Preparing las armas. Apuntan. Fuego.
You can get more news and information on our website, azpm.org. To comment on any story you saw tonight, click on it online and go to the bottom. We can also be reached via Facebook and Twitter. Coming up tomorrow night, the high number of suicides among veterans is causing concern across the country. And hear from a World War II veteran who was stationed at Pearl Harbor on December 7th, 1941. I'm Tony Paniagua. From all of us at Arizona Public Media, have a great night.